Hey guys, coming at you today with a recipe that I developed quite a while ago. It is so delicious. I modeled it after Bob Evans pumpkin bread, which was my first job when I was 16 years old. And I developed it, but I made it into my pumpkin muffins. So I might have mentioned it in that video that you could do it into a loaf pan, but today I'm going to show you how I make it. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees already, because this comes together pretty quick. But I believe what happened with this recipe, I think I developed my zucchini bread recipe first, and then I'm like, oh, if I can do zucchini bread, I can make pumpkin bread. And I looked up Bob Evans pumpkin bread knockoff recipe, and it was pretty similar to the zucchini bread. So I kind of just took that and made it into pumpkin bread. Then I said to myself, well, I just did zucchini bread, I can't do pumpkin bread right after. So I made it into muffins. So I'll link that up there for you if you want to make the pumpkin muffins. They are delicious. I'm making a double batch here, so I'm not sure what the zucchini bread has in it. I think it might just have classic monk fruit sweetener, monk fruit erythritol blend. But I'm doing golden. Everything with pumpkin spice I feel like needs golden or brown sugar, you know? So you need 144. I need 288. There we go. And that's gonna whip just like our zucchini bread. And I also, I created a variation of this with my coffee cake too. Whip them together until the eggs are nice and fluffy. And then while that's whipping, I already got my dry ingredients weighed out, sifted, and I'm mixing them up. I did pumpkin spice in here, but it's a blend I make myself, so I'll put that down below if you want to make your own pumpkin spice blend, and some extra cinnamon. And I just use unflavored whey protein powder, coconut flour, baking powder, and xanthan gum. But if you have like a cinnamon protein powder, flavored protein powder, that would probably be good in this. You might want to decrease the sweetness a tiny bit, but it'll be delicious. And then I already weighed out my pumpkin. You need 224 grams of pumpkin. I needed 448. I was 2 tablespoons short. So I already know that this recipe is basically like my sour cream coffee cake. So I just added 2 tablespoons of sour cream in there. It shouldn't mess with it too much, but I wanted the right amount of liquid. That's the most important thing. It doesn't really matter what the liquid is, as long as it's kind of similar in texture. That's why it worked to swap out the zucchini for the pumpkin, and then pumpkin for sour cream for my coffee cake. So I have that ready to go. And then the only other thing we need are our pans. Now these are a little bit too big. I would suggest an 8.5 by 4.5. These are 9.5 by 5.5. But it makes like a skinnier like piece of pumpkin bread, which is fine. But if you do it in a smaller pan, you might need to bake it a little bit longer. So just keep an eye on it. It gets pretty dark on top, but it has to be solid and spring back when you touch it. So I'm gonna line these with parchment paper. Then the only other ingredient in this recipe is you need 1 stick, 112 grams, 8 tablespoons, 4 ounces of butter melted. I need 2. So I just put them in this guy, get them into the microwave. Oh, and you also need some vanilla extract. But you can also probably use caramel extract if you want. Obviously you don't have to have it soft for this because you're throwing it in the microwave, but it takes less time to melt. I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And once your eggs are whipped, which if they are warm, it won't take long. Mine were cold, so they took forever. Pour in your melted butter, add your pumpkin, and then your dry ingredients. I usually stop and scrape down a couple times. You don't want to feel too much graininess left in there, is the point of whipping the eggs and the sweetener together. Camera is not focusing. And all your dry ingredients. Can I do it without spilling it? I don't know. Nope, obviously not. It's not focusing. And while that's mixing, I'm gonna go And the thing I like about Recipale, it gives you the amount of grams the whole recipe is. So I can have that and get about what I want in each pan. So 930-ish. Just give it another little stir. Make sure you get all the way down to the bottom. Things down there that aren't mixed in. The reason I hate this scale, low battery, it doesn't even tell you. And you can't use it while it's plugged in. Okay. So 900. Start there. And then I get worried, did I miss something? We're at 700, so... So about 800 and 800-ish. Hope I didn't miss anything. I need to spread this out. Keep it kind of mounded. If you have a smaller pan, it'll probably be up to like the top. I want to make sure you're even side to side because you don't want it super thick over on this side and thin on this side. This takes a long while to bake though, so let's get this in the oven. I'm going to set it for 20, turn it, and another 20, and we'll see where we're at. We might need another 10-15 minutes. Oh, and I have it at 340, not 350. Okay, so that was 20 minutes. I'm going to give them a turn. I'm going to bring one down because I'm going to switch them. Turn this guy. And I figured out my mistake. I had too much butter in the recipe, so this is right. But I'm going to do another 20 minutes. Okay, so that's 40 minutes. This one's almost done. You can see that they're like a little bit soft in the middle still. They're not springing back. So they just have a couple more minutes. I'm going to do like 5, check them. If they're not done, turn them in another 5. They're pretty solid and bouncing back. They are done. So yours might take a little bit longer. Mine took 49 minutes. We're gonna let them cool for a minute and then we're gonna pop them out. Okay, they've been cooling for a minute. They don't have to be super cooled down. You kind of want to just get them out of the pan. Just lift out real easy. Peel that away. Okay, I just gotta let them cool a little bit so that we can slice them and try them. Of course, they're best served warm with some butter. Or at Bob Evans, we used to use Rich's whipped topping as our topping of choice for our pumpkin bread. Of course, I'm too impatient if you guys know me at all. So I'm gonna slice into this now. It's still pretty warm. If you get 11 slices out of this, which is about, each one being about that big or so, you might even get 12. 2 net carbs. Super soft and moist. Oh, so good. Can't wait to eat this. Haven't eaten anything all morning. So soft and fluffy. This is the only knife I got, so. Still warm. Sweet, cinnamony, got the warm seasonal spices in it. So good. And my best friend, who I met at Bob Evans when I worked there, she came in and bought a piece and said it was spot on to the Bob Evans pumpkin bread. She's the only one I know of that was like obsessed with it as much as I was. My recipe also has optional stevia. I'm waiting on my caramel stevia to come in. I didn't add any extra. If you like it a little bit sweeter, definitely add some stevia, but I usually top it with something sweet. I eat this whole thing, I'm so hungry. I'm officially in my 3rd trimester. By the time you see this, I think I'll be 30 weeks. So good. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe as much as I've been enjoying it, and the people that have bought in it. If you try the recipe, let me know in the comments below how you liked it and what other fall treats that I haven't made yet do you want to see? Probably put some recipes up here linked throughout the video of my fall desserts. Don't forget to check out my Amazon links and the blog link to the full recipe in the description box below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll be back with many more keto dessert recipes. Bye guys.